Plaintiff Maya Lackman claims her former friend failed to repay her for a plane ticket. She's suing for $378. Defendant Alexa Dean claims the plaintiff is a former drug addict who doesn't remember that she's already been paid back. She says she owes nothing.
Case number 2 on the docket, Lockman versus Dean.
Ms. Lockman, the plaintiff, you are suing the defendant, Ms. Dean, in the amount of $378 for breach of contract. You are suing her for $378.
Yes.
Why?
I bought her a plane ticket for my cousin to come out and see her. She said that...
Oh, so they were dating. She
Yes.
was dating your cousin.
She was dating my cousin.
He wanted to see her.
Well, she wanted him to come out and see her. I bought them a ticket with my credit card. They said that they were going to be selling their car in March. They were in a blizzard at the time. So in March, I'd be able to get the money from the car they were selling to pay me back.
Okay.
March came.
So basically, you loaned them $378.
Well, I loaned them $400 and something, but then she paid me $100 in March. But then I didn't hear from her after that.
Okay.
I went out to Austin a couple different times to meet up with her to get some money. She was like, yeah, you know, we'll meet at this time. I would show up, and then she would just ghost, you know, like not text back, not answer my calls.
So
like,
you want the rest of the $478
Right.
back that she didn't pay back, and you're saying it's about $100 she paid back.
Yes, sir.
Lexi, what's your story?
I don't even know why we're here today. I've realized that the only reason we're at court today is because Maya had a really bad drug problem back then. And I guess she just forgot that she had a drug problem back then. The thing is, like, when I first met her, we went to a party, and she invited me. I met her over Facebook through my ex. Yeah, because he was still in Virginia. And she was like, come to this party. So I go, because I don't know people out there. I had just moved there.
Yeah.
And we get there, and there's hobos, crackheads. It's in a really shady part of Texas. So, yeah, I get there. She's, like, all drugged out. And the other reason that I do know she was on drugs...
Why is this relevant?
It's relevant because she was always on drugs, and she forgot that we had an agreement.
And what was the agreement? Because she said she bought a ticket for $478. You remember that?
Yeah, we already paid her $200. We paid her $200, right? And we saw her every time she was messed up. And then I called her one day, and I was like, hey, we're moving back to Virginia. So if we take you to Virginia, you know, so you can get out of your terrible lifestyle.
So they were moving back to Virginia?
No, me and my ex were moving back to Virginia.
Oh, you were moving back to Virginia?
Yes, we were moving back. And I wanted her to, you know, come clean and, you know, stop being crazy and come with us and come live with her family. So I was like, if we drive you out there, can you, like, you know, let the $278 that's left over, can you just, like, cancel it out? And she's like, yeah, we can. We drove 20 hours, Your Honor. I don't know if I can give this to you. Oh, sorry.
So you were, thank you. Yeah, this is a map of the United States of America.
First of all, don't let this pretty face fool you. She is a liar, she's a manipulator, and she is an attention whore. She will do anything for money. She's a stripper. So she has, like, traveled out of the state and lied about it, saying that she was still in Virginia when really she went out to Atlanta and posted on social media, and so that she could do full nudity.
What's the difference where she strips?
Well, in Virginia, it's not full nudity. It's just like go-go dancing. But in other states, they allow full nudity. So there's, like, opportunity to make more money, I guess.
Okay. This is all interesting, but is it relevant to the case?
Well, she's a liar. So she told me that she was going to be able to pay me for this ticket.
What we have here is what we call accord and satisfaction. That means a replacement type of repayment. So an alternative way to repay. You're saying that the $378 that you owed, or $278, depending on whether $100 was paid back or $200, but the amount that was still owed, you're saying that it was because you gave her a ride, so that should be the repayment. She would have to agree that the ride you're giving her to Virginia Beach is in place of the $278 or $378 that she still owes.
Absolutely, Your Honor, and she did agree to that.
And but you don't remember doing that.
That's not true. What I told them was, I don't want to move to Virginia. I want to come visit, because my family and I don't get along. So I was coming to visit, and in return, to replace the ticket, they would just buy me my ticket back to Texas. So a ticket for a ticket.
Yeah.
And then halfway through the trip, I find out that no, that's not the case, that they're thinking that me riding along with them on a trip they were already taking was repaying me back. Not to mention the whole time they were arguing, so then we ended up in silence. Her mom was there. It was terrible.
Okay. So it doesn't seem, since there's neither of you are giving me evidence of whether or not there was an agreement.
I don't have evidence for the agreement, but I do have the plane ticket.
Okay, I'll take a look at that, but neither of you are disputing that, so I'm,
Everything else was verbally through
yeah,
phone.
I'm taking that as truth because you both agree with it. So the only thing in question here is whether that ride to Virginia was in place of you paying back the money for the ticket you bought, okay? So is that a replacement? And that is going to, since I don't have any evidence of an agreement, because in most cases something like that would probably be verbal. You guys at
Yeah.
the time were at least
I mean, she didn't give
acquaintances,
any
if not
gas
friends,
money or
and one
anything.
says to the other, hey, we'll drive you there. But if it's not for her benefit, if it wasn't like she needed that ride over there, you're saying you didn't need the drive over there. You guys were going there anyway, and you just said you want to come along. So I don't see that necessarily as repayment. If she needed a ride there and you gave her something of value, then I would see that that is repayment. But if it's just, hey, we're going to Virginia, come along with, you can spend some time with her, whatever, that, unless there's evidence that she agreed that that was repayment, I don't see that as being repayment. $278 is what is still owed. I find for the plaintiff.
Both parties, and that's the court.
Hey YouTube, check out my new show, Judge Jerry. Now for sneak preview and behind the scenes footage, subscribe to my channel now.